This little section is all Lesco all-pro teams. This was all but bare back in 2018. And it's coming in really well over the years. It gets pounded by the sun. The soil isn't all that great. Just a few inches down, it's basically whatever base material the house is built up on. I have a outbreak of something here. I don't know if that's POA or whatever. I'll give you an example why you don't spray weed killer when it's hot and in the summertime. There's one spot right there. Stressed the grass out pretty well and barely did anything to the weed. That's the only real weed here. So that's doing well. For Lesco anyway. Same goes for along the driveway and down through here. Now, up until after my first overseeding, this is where the kids get out and run to the backyard to around the house. This is usually a nice mud path or a dust path this time of year. And then I come over to here, which I also have some POA creeping in, and I think that's leftover from a blend I put there years ago. I think it's POA trivialis, is that what they call it? I'm hesitant to do anything with it because it's holding up. I pulled up a section here, shallow roots, and I'm just gonna throw some leftover seed I have. I seeded this whole area pretty heavy with the Lesco. This area, however, is the oldest turf in my yard, and it's just a mixed bag of garbage. Next year, I think I'm going to smoke the whole thing and level it off. I have a few stumps that have finally stopped sinking. My whole yard is littered with stump holes, along with a stump dump I had excuse me, dug up. This whole side of the yard is a completely different story. This is 2 years worth of Lesco, and last year, basically because of budget and availability, I went with the Jonathan Green original. And it's doing quite well, other than I had some fungus problems starting late May and was fighting it all through June and July. From this point on, you can really see the difference in the grass. This is all still lousy soil here. So the only place it does pretty well is the shaded areas. This area that does really well used to be a horse stall, and the soil here is pretty good until you get to the leaching field, which is just all rocks and sand about 15 inches down, but it does well enough. The leaching field doesn't get used. We get our tanks pumped long before it comes out here. But I have another, I don't know if it shows up on the video, but right about here is another stump and it's a good dip. The neighbor said there was a large oak tree here, and it was removed because it damaged the leaching field. So this is a mixed bag of mess. But considering what I went through the last 6 years or so, it's doing quite well. Now, this area around the fire pit was pretty bare and beat up. This is a new lawn seeding worth of Jonathan Green original. And I gotta say, for this area, it's doing quite well. I keep it at a 4-inch cut. It's filling in really well. It's got a few stray unknown type grasses still in it, but it has improved 100% since last year. This area here outlined in the flags, I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's competing with the tree or if the grass here is just dying off. But this area is not doing well. I've been hitting it with plenty of water. Last section, although it doesn't look like much, it looked like this down the whole path except for some weeds. And now that's just Jonathan Green original, tossed down last fall with zero care. Nothing. I didn't do anything over there. The only thing that section has going for it is 20 years of dumping leaves and grass clippings. And this area here is Lesco. Again, very little care in this area. No irrigation. Same with this spot. This spot gets no irrigation. So if we didn't have the few good rainstorms we had in the past few weeks, this would be all brown right now. It would look like this. It's just starting to recover with the rains we had. But it comes back year after year. It's what I like about the Lesco. It just keeps coming back. I have some rogue fescues growing up there, and that's from a Lesco blend. I didn't do a good job of keeping track of what they put in the Lesco all-pro teams every year. I know they do change it up.